Oh, there we go. There we go. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to Garden Quilt and Art Show. I am Ellen Pankey, also known as Auntie Ellen. And come on in, y'all. A lot of people are on vacation. Let me look. Unbiased LLC. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to talk about a mail call in a minute. Maybe a couple people in here, all two of you. I might have gotten some mail from. Uh-oh, there are four in here. Donzel Cooper, you got a minute from work. Hello, Mr. Hershey. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people out there in YouTube, in the YouTube streets and YouTube land. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, there's something up here that I don't want to do. You know me clicking on stuff. I see a little something up there. I want it to go away, but I'm not touching it because I touch it and I make you all go away. Oh, Dolores, thank you for coming. Hey, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me see if I can pull up the chatty wat. Not this one. And I finally got it scheduled this morning. I have been so busy. Sissy, Joanne Stevens, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So I spent the day at Mom's house yesterday the afternoon. Well, before I tell you about my day, let me first say happy Christmas Kwanzaa. Christmas was yesterday. Kwanzaa is today, and Hanukkah started last night at sundown. Actually, I got home just a little bit before sundown. When I say home, when I got back to my apartment, home is where your mother is. I have a book about that. And when I got back to my apartment, mi apartamiento, they were having services downstairs in the community room for Hanukkah. And the rabbi was down there. And I'm fortunate to live in a place where all religions are celebrated. Anybody who wants to have meetings or fellowship, worship, are welcome to do so. And anyone in the building who is a resident is allowed to attend. So I would like to thank those of you in the bushes, the moderators, the friends and family members for the GQUAT Traditions show. That's the domain name, GQUAT Traditions. But nobody knew what a GQUAT was. Nobody knew what the traditions were. And I spell it kind of funnily, so it's hard to find. And I decided to write out the whole thing, Garden Quilt and Art Show, where good friends become enemies, frenemies. Good friends become family, and family is everything. Hershey distracted me over there. He has this little toy. And thank you for coming, Sissy. I woke up 3 o'clock this morning. I was exhausted when I got home. I mean, totally exhausted. And it's about an hour ride each way to go to Mom's, and then packing up the cart to take it to the transpo. I had three carts full of stuff, and I was up cooking. I was so excited. I made cookies. I made I made the dough for like 16 dozen. I cooked 4 dozen because I wanted to take them with me. And then 2 dozen were browner than I wanted them to be. And so I remade those 2 dozen and gave them away. And Nana, do you know where I can found Crown Royal bags in bulk? No, I have been collecting Crown Royal bags myself, but yes, I do. You can check with your local LIQ liquor stores. When I was in North Carolina, the local liquor store there, the people that would buy the Royal Crown and all the flavors, the black, the apple, the everything, they would come and donate their bags to the liquor store and they would give them to whoever wanted them. You can also check your local secondhand stores. Excuse me. When I was in Arizona, my sister Joanne Stevens and I found a few in their favorite store. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of photos from yesterday. Yankee sister, hola hermana, ¿cómo estás? I I found a present for you that I guess didn't get put in the other with the other gifts because it was waiting until somebody is stopping by on your behalf. Yes, see. So your other stuff is covered up. And I decided I wasn't going to show you guys the photos, try to show them to you anymore on my cell phone because I get this horrible glare from my arrow garden and it's not big enough to see anyway. So I will show you, and I'm not putting it actually in anything because to me family is private. I don't come on YouTube to to do anything other than share my knowledge, share my love of family. But I treasure our privacy. So before I took the photos, because I always forget to take the photos when I'm there, and I took a few for my sister Joanne and the family members not in Connecticut. So I wanted to show you the tree. So it's not as bad of a glare. It's not as bad as a glare. I got there late, so my little gifts were mostly on the table, although I do see that purple bag in the front that I know doesn't match anything else under there because that one was for my sister. We had wonderful food and and okay, so where here we are. I wanted to show you. Oh, that's cute. That's one of the girls. Uh, Photos of my Psalm 146. I did throw a few of these in the pan for here that I took. I took all except 5 drumsticks to mom's house, but they had chicken 2 or 3 other ways because everybody's trying to swear off of red meat. I did I did finish 2 of the girls' quilts and they loved them. This one was Sydney's and Simone loved hers. I was sick last week, you guys, and I didn't get, my fancy little labels on. So I said, you know what? I just want them to remember like 2024 because their quilts will outlast their Nana and they will get faded, they will get worn, they might even get holes in them with some spots. And this one is Simone's with the purple on it and I happen to have 2 extra blocks, so I just gifted them to her anyway to use for a casserole pad or something. But the best part of the day was being with, oh, I can show you some of the cookies. That's some of them. And that's how I wanted them to show to look. And these were old fashioned oatmeal craisin, except I substitute the craisin happy hives. Oh, Sarah's happy hives. I used to get hives all the time. And I thought my sister thought I was going to get hives. And this is how I usually bake them, like a dozen on each cookie sheet. I can actually fit 4 cookie sheets in my oven at a time, put them on parchment paper. And one of the things so that they don't over brown or get too hard, I slide the entire parchment paper onto the cooling rack so that they cool and they firm up. Oh, hold on. One of the things I wanted to show you is that my mother's beautiful rose Afghan, someone purchased it, and there it is on a red bed. Although this is actually a sofa size Afghan with beautiful roses inside for those of you who sew. Oh, this is what I will show you guys. What I've been working on in the thumbnail. I finished that 15-minute challenge. I had my blocks already cut. Ty Lily, hey, Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I have your neck things that you gave me in the freezer. I think I'm going the wrong way here. I was. So let me go back to what I was trying to show you. And it's a happy, happy thing. And this is me and my mommy. Mother, if you're watching, Egawamote. So that's a quick little thing. And I always get, oh, guess what? My mother won a gift on Mr. Arthur Bammett's channel. Excuse me, Hershey, stop. Come. He hears something at the door. And it was the question, who had the oldest mom on YouTube? Well, I'm one of the oldest people on YouTube. So I know my mother was. So I was watching on TV, and then I hurried up and signed in the chat, and I put my mother's age. I have to tell your age, Mom. Maria Grandma's saying hello, Mom Panky, and who had the oldest mother in the chat. So Mommy's 93. And then another lady, I forget her name. I'm unfamiliar with her. I'm not sure if she's a content creator. Oh, this things, are they neck bones in the freezer? I do, but I don't think I showed the freezer. The tag on this thing is hurting my neck. I don't know if you guys are allergic. Is anybody here allergic to, you know how you used to get the undershirt and they had that little tag on the back? Well, I guess because I have these pearls on and I got something on underneath here, these things are itching, are irritating me. This is cashmere, but I think this is too soft to irritate me. But I want to show you a special photo. And there's my pumpkin. He was busy opening his gifts. So I sat between the eldest member of my branch of the family and the youngest. One being 93 years old, the other one being 4 years old. I think I'm going the wrong way again. Oh, and the girls got their neck bone pillows as well. Well, I was trying to share some news, some mail with you. And so Rylan and I, oh, I know. Rylan and I spent the afternoon playing on his, oh, there we are. You see Nana touching him, playing on somebody's cell phone. It wasn't Nana's, but he was playing. We put the iPad away and we're just touching each other and spending quality time together. And one day he will be able to look at these photos and say, you know what? I have a photo with my great great grandmother, who was me, and my great 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 grandmother, 6 generations. Bias was saying Harriet was her name. Oh, Harriet is the lady whose mother was 99 years old, actually older than my mom, and she won and she donated the gift to my mother. And I told mommy, and she said thank you. She was so excited. So it will be sent to me, the gift, and I will take it to my mom. So there's a picture. This is a very big room. And you see from the other end of the sofa, past there, somebody was standing. And there's Rylan and me, Nana, and my mother sitting in the chair. So that was all special. And you know what's special about mothers? Mothers know their children. Like, and I don't call her, Mr. Arthur said, yeah, you call her mother. I only call her mother when I'm live on here to annoy her. Our treasured home. Thank you for coming, Nancy, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. That's what you wish you had more photos of Big Mama and me together. I wish I had photos. I have one photo with one of my great grandmothers. I don't think I have, well, I have to go back in some old. I have photos of my grandmothers, of my grandfathers, but I don't show any of us like next to each other, touching each other. I don't have anything that they made. I do have one grandmother's industrial singer sewing machine. I just took all the stuff off. I was using it for a table, unbiased. And you guys will see me sewing over there soon. It's one of the big industrial machines, unlike any of the industrial machines that you see now. And not only that, but my grandmother bought it new. It had never been used. She had it customized in some way, but she passed before she ever got a chance to use it. And the people she bought it from refused to give my mom the money back. So this machine stayed in my mom's house from the 1970s until 2006. No, no, no. Until when did I move here? 2018. I moved in this apartment and my mother gave it to me. So I have it over there. And it's not like the ones that are made now in other countries that are so popular. These things are irritating my skin. Sorry, Chicos. Chico's is the store it came from. Oh, you love it, Sissy? I forgot I had it. You guys, you like my top? It's from Chico's and it's cashmere. It's very, very soft, but it's warm. It's warm normally in most houses, but it's 68 degrees in here, so it feels good. And I wet my hair before I came out, so it felt good to have something warm on. So now, you guys, I talked about one part of my haul. My eye always waters because of the bright lights. But I was saying that mothers they always love their children, but they know their voices. They know when something is wrong with them. So I'm actually feeling much better. I had that bug that's going around, despite all my anti everything that I was taking, all the natural things, all the doctor suggested um, anti-inflammatory things, because I have chronic bronchitis and I used to get pneumonia, walking pneumonia, every year when I was in California. My sister Joanne, it won't irritate your skin. Unbiased. I know that's right. I know that's right. I can see you and Auntie Joanne wrestling for it. You guys are so funny. You were so funny. But actually, this was a gift from my daughter, and I guess I'll just have to wear a long sleeve shirt. I thought this was long sleeve, but where it's touching, and my skin is so dry. Speaking of unbiased, let's do let's do. I want to do a mail haul, but I promised my neighbor I would open the gifts from her. Hershey, please stop. Hershey, he does something that really annoys me. So these are Mr. Hershey's gifts from the neighbors, and from one neighbor in particular. Ooh, and she bought him a month's supply of dog food. And this is the type I switch around. My sister, Auntie Joanne, and my daughter swear that he doesn't like it, but he does like it. He does like it. And I switch this up with another one, Rachel Ray's for small dogs. Almost homesteading with Janet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Girl, if you don't slow that camera down when you're panning around, I've been following all your vlogs. I said, oh, she's trying to spit me up. So I know you're out at the place working today. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. And how do I know she was out there working? Because she texts me. And so let's talk about some more Mr. Hershey's gifts. So I'm going to show my neighbor the replay on this. So this is Hershey's stocking from her, and she wanted to know if I opened it yet for him. So, oh, how cute is this? This I have the camera. I know you can't see my face, but this bag has actually got a lot of stuff in it, and I want to show Hershey. Oh, here he comes. I'm making you got a new baby. Here you go. Merry Christmas from Auntie Joan. He has it. You're on your way home? Oh, you're at the Dollar General cleaning up. Okay. So I had to stop her from buying treats. So here's one bag of treats, two bag of treats. And this is her stocking. She fusses at me every year, Miss Joan upstairs, because I never find it. And she insists on giving him toys. And isn't this one cute? Oh, how cute is this? Does he do anything? Hershey likes to bite him. He's beating this one up. Feels like there's something in here that's supposed to scream, but it's not. It's not screaming. Okay, Hershey, here you go. There's your other one. So we will give this back to Miss Joan until next year. So those are some of Hershey's Christmas gifts. And I want to show you just a few things that I received. That stocking is so cute. Thank you, Unbiased. So, speaking of, let's see, where are they? Oh, let me talk about the challenges. Are you guys are put a one in the chat if any of you are in any Christmas challenges, any challenges, and let us know what your challenge is, what the challenges are. So me, I'm in a challenge. Well, this is not one of them, but it's a list of the moderators. The moderators in this channel are so good to me. They back me up. They keep the channel clean. They keep trolls and idiots out. I shouldn't even say that word. They'll come gunning. So I have a list of all the moderators on the channel, and you will be getting a little something in the mail from me. Oh, Psalm 146 is doing WIG 2024. I'm doing that one too, but I haven't dropped a single seed. I've been going through seeds. Psalm 146. Did you get your mail from me? Auntie Joanne. Oh, Angel heard that squeak and she's looking for the toy. Hershey, your daughter's about to take that one from you. So he's got the first one. He's running between the first one and the second one because it smells like Aunt Joan. Just gift it. Sonia, I saw you out there. Well, first of all, saw you in a live about, I want to say 4 hours one night. You were doing the last minute, twas the night before, whatever, and you were working so hard getting your baskets ready, and you did a good job. Barb Brownlee, thank you for coming and welcome. The whole Dollar General, Ollie's watching your live. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. This is the Garden Quilt and Art Show. Mr. Hershey, he hears me, hears everybody. His mustache is, a mess because he's in there eating snacks. And look at him. Say, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah Kwanzaa. Yes. Oh, you sent me a text letting it. Oh, I was traveling yesterday. My helper just left at 2 o'clock, and I was teaching her how to hand sew some blocks together. So I didn't get around to it. Ellen Campbell, I seen you making feathers on your channel for those of you who are interested in finishing quilts on a long arm, and they have new tiny frames for domestic machines now. I might even get one of those. I am a former long arm shop owner, and I used to teach at other shops on all the machines, all the machines. And I'll never forget when I was teaching how to make feathers, and you make the spine going down, you guys, and then you know how feathers have the loops, but the way I used to teach it, it used to be like bump bump and then come down, then bump bump and come down, so that the stem would be extra enforced. So that's just, oh, you missed earlier? No, 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 that's okay. So I am going through my mail, but first I wanted to talk about how many of you others are doing. Yes, the Grace mini frame. Yeah, I was thinking about getting that, but then I would want to keep it up somewhere in between, and the somewhere is where I haven't figured out yet. Yes. Hello, Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. And my mother used to love, love, love to crochet. Um, she doesn't crochet so much now anymore. So, how many of more of you are in challenges? Excuse me, you guys. I'm okay, mother. That's what I was saying about mothers know their children. She heard me actually cough last week, and she said as soon as I sat down in the den next to her, she said, I was watching your live. I heard you coughing. Are you okay? Are you warm?" And she was reaching over and touching me and making sure I was okay. Right, mother? You were taking care of the good daughter. So, one of the challenges I'm in started November 1st, and I'm saving $5 in cash a week. So, I'm putting it in this old repurposed envelope. Today's 12/26. Putting my little $5 in. If nothing else, there are 52 weeks in a year. Just saying that they all get in here. So 5 times 52, that's 250. $260 should be in here next Christmas to buy some yarn or craft materials. So, what other challenge? I'll say that's the pièce de résistance, because that 15-minute daily quilting challenge, I have always told you guys to do something for 15 minutes a day. But anything in, you did vlog mode, that's all until you can join the WIG 2025. I'm not going to drop seeds, I said, until January 1st, except my helper's coming. She came today and tomorrow and Saturday to get her 3 days in this week. her 3 part-time days. And I told her Saturday we're going to get my other two hydroponic systems out. We're going to get some little soil pots. I'm going to drop some seeds in there and go through my seeds. They're actually, see up there where it says seeds? Have to get that thing down. She's shorter than me, but she seems to manage. Oh, you guys, look. I changed the background because January 1st, I will also be doing a Afro modern quilt challenge. And I started this quilt in 2018. I actually hand drew this elephant. I don't know if you can barely see him. It is an African fabrics in a few boutiques. I just have to finish putting the top on. The backing. The batting is there, but you see what happens when you're hand quilting, free motion quilting, thread stitching. So I never put the very backing on until the end. This is thread painting. This is just quilting. I was doing a few little free motion quilting. I have to put some more gold thread in. I'm going. So this is not African fabric, so this wouldn't qualify. This one will. I have a new one that I will be working on. Giovanna Cassiano, thanks for coming. Oh, you guys, if you are content creators, please put an exclamation mark GQUAT in the chat and it will drop your link and people can find. Oh, and people can find your channel. Almost Homesteading with Janet said if they have energy tonight, they'll set up the grow system. I tell you, there ain't enough, excuse me, mother, there ain't enough hours in a day to keep up with all the challenges, all the things to do. You guys, you see my background now? I've learned how to change it easily. Check that out. Or maybe there it is. Poof. So there's that one. But I'm going back to this one. Why? Because hardly anybody, I haven't seen anybody with this one. And almost everybody has this one. These are actually my favorite colors. But me, I am just trying to be different. So Campbell's Creation dropped her link. And if you're interested in quilting, she does mostly quilting. And be happy to show you how to do it. And she will give you personal attention if you're interested in finding out her ways of doing things. So, okay, I got a card in on my door when I got home. Outside of our door, there's a little clip, a metallic clip. We have metal doors, of course, here in this commercial establishment. Mike. If you had what I think I had a touch of, baby, that thing was no joke. Karen's Little Garden. Hello, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. So tonight I said instead of like running to the machine, running crazy back and forth, I will show you my life. I'm looking for my mail. Excuse me. But my helper was here today and she puts the cards up. So maybe she put the cards up for me. But unbiased, I would like to thank you. I got a beautiful Christmas card from you. I was looking at it. Can't find it now. Can't find it now. I will find it after the live. But I appreciate you. Maria Graham, I've got a card in the mail at the post office from you. And I appreciate that. Wellness with Frugal Mama. Thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Girlfriend, I see you modeling those clothes and whatnot over there. I haven't been doing I was so sick last week. I actually was advised not to do anything strenuous, not to exercise, to let me body rest. Maritza's Yarn and Craft is saying hello to Giovanna and to our treasured home. So another thing, when you're good to the neighbor, when you're good to people, what you put out in the universe, excuse me, you were hit by four things at the same time. It was bad. You're weak, but you're happy to be better. Good for you, my. So another thing, I just want to share things from the neighbors for you. Giovanna has videos of the floods, and one your cats, and one on free motion machine. Oh, her friend is doing free motion embroidery. It is amazing. Giovanna Cassiato. She's got, I don't know what stitch that embroidery machine does, but it's amazing. She's putting words in and decorations. It's really, really interesting. So I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning every night, taking that walk down the hall to the privy, and my TV, I usually fall asleep with it on anyway, and it'll be on playlists or whatever, and different things pop up, and I just sit there and watch them. Oh, Giovanna, almost homesteading with Janice, said she will watch your cat video. She's a cat mama as well. Mother, I'm okay. Sassy, I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome. She's saying hello, chat. Hello, hello, hello. And then one of the cards I wanted to show you guys, because you're tuning in from everywhere, I got a card from my baby brother who now lives in Houston. So CC's gardening channel. Oh, who else? Who else? David Corey with crops. All of y'all up in H Town, beware. I will be visiting my brother and his wife. So I have a few more little gifts. I love presents, you guys. Well, I love just having you guys come into the chat. I love the way that you guys love me and support the channel. So the same lady that brought Hershey his stock, whoops, it's not alive unless I drop something, you guys. You have one about the olives and the cats. Yes, yes, yes. So, what does it say? Oh no, I didn't do this. But it's cold in here anyway. It says refrigerate at once for best quality. So she gave me some Swiss Colony sausages. I will put this in the refrigerator. It's cold. It's actually cold. It was cold in here before I came in. It wasn't 68. I'm going to have to turn the temperature up when I start my aero gardens. Mike told me they do best at 72 degrees. So I have to catch up with the rest of my mail. I'm looking to see. Wait. If it accidentally fell. Uh-oh. If it accidentally fell. Guess what, you guys? I think it accidentally fell. I'm finding things. So, yes, unbiased. So, oh, this is a very fancy envelope, you guys. This one's from Unbiased. I won't show her address. And it's got these cute, cute, cute little houses. This is some expensive stuff. Appreciate you, girlfriend. You do best above 72 degrees too. That's funny. That's funny. Psalm 146. And what is Bean Pie doing? That's not his name, you guys. I just call him that. This is the beautiful card from Maria Graham. I should have known that it was on. It had slipped off the side of this chair. Uh-huh. And here's the other one from my baby brother and his wife. They got married earlier this year. And here's a card from Houston, everybody. So I will be coming to the Houston near you. So going back to, so there are the sausages. I've got this box from Hershey's godmother that lives upstairs. And this one has, it looks like all kind of cheese dips. I'm not going to do the cheeses right now with my respiratory bronchitis issues. And by the way, you guys, when I made my soup last week, I made it specifically non dairy because so many people don't do dairy or lactose intolerance, including this lady. And I wanted to give her some soup, so I put the coconut milk in the soup that I made. And then to my personal soup, I added the blend of mild cheddar, sharp cheddar, Gouda, and the mozzarella. That's what made it all drippy and look so good. So this was the second box from Miss Joan upstairs. And then this is the third box. Mind you, she's on a fixed income. But she told me she got a care package from her brother, the fancy lawyer in California. So she hooked me up too. So what is in here? Swiss Colony. Oh, she loves these little mints. She buys these for Hanukkah too. All the fruit slices. So, no, I was going to bite a piece of it, but then it will have me and clear my throat. Then, you see this bag over here? Even though I make bags, I make all kinds of soup, Giovanna. But the soup that I made last week, oh, I have a soup here on YouTube that has like about 10,000. Oh, Bean is exploring his new tablet. You see how well he did the one in his classroom. So he got him one. My great grandson has one in the classroom. He actually has three, but we took them away for Family Day yesterday so that he could have fun with Nana. This is Nana. Black Guns and Gardens. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. For those of you who don't know Black Guns and Gardens, oh, and there are a lot of people on here. I'm a lot 2A, you guys. A lot 2A. 2A stands for the Second Amendment, for those of you who are unfamiliar. And a lot of people in here have channels that tell you about firearm safety. They tell you about how to get qualified for different licenses in different states. The bell that bending over shook my pearls loose. Shook my pearls. Clutching them. Clutching them. So, what I love about this bag, even though I make bags myself, you guys know that my signature is 3 purple hearts. Back from when I was legally blind and I couldn't see, and I was trying to type in these chats on my phone, I couldn't see where I was writing. So I put the 3 purple hearts in, and that was my signature. Not that I'm stealing Unbiased stuff, you guys who think I'm stealing her stuff. And I also liked elephants before she was born. Right, Unbiased? So we can love the same things. And that's why she's my granddaughter, because we love, love, love the same things. Mr. Hershey, I'm not picking you up. I'm not picking you up, sir. Down, down. He knows hand signals. And so what I love about this bag, and it says from the great grands, 2 of them work. They save their money, their allowances, And they bought this with their own money and for their nana. And it has a little bag in here. Thank you, Maria. Or it had a little bag. Don't tell me that. Oh no, that didn't fall out. And it's a little bag that says Nana. It's black so you can barely see it. And it has a zipper. And I can put stuff in here. Not that Nana needs any more bags. Here in Italy, you have to have shooting lessons and psychological testing before getting a pew pew permit. Oh, well, excuse me, Hershey. Excuse me, Hershey. Just 1 minute, you guys, because somebody is acting up. I had to talk to him in his mommy voice. So, my permit, Giovanna, actually, my very first job in life after graduating from college, I was a mom of two, but at the age of 24, I was a police officer. I had to gain weight from 124 pounds, Auntie Joanne will tell you, up to 135 pounds of muscle, but I was already athletic. I was on the gymnastics team. I was a majorette all through junior high school, and college. So I just had to get some more. You got a few things a couple months ago. Oh, yeah, I saw you. And I think I saw James walking around with it on his hip over at the place. Oh, yeah, no need to carry it. North Carolina, it was like that too. I used to have Mr. Mossberg across the back window of my pickup truck. And my husband used to walk around our store with pearl handle 45 Colt 45s. And yeah, you could just open carry anywhere. But times are a changing because of the idiots in the world. So many idiots in the world. And this last gift that I wanted to show you guys, I love journals. T Hop 42 is saying, hello, families. I caught the replay this morning of you and Yankee Sister and Francesca. Watched the whole thing with you guys. But what I like about this one is that it's like a leather top, and I'm hard on journals. I make journal covers myself. They give me the same things that I make, but I just love them. And like this journal cover, I loved it because I put the red Asian fabric on it, and I make my journal covers with a pen holder, a page holder, and that's one of the things that this journal has. It has a page cover, and my daughter gave me a really nice one years ago. I guess it's on my bed. I usually have 7 journals out. I have one for the Pankey family when I'm taking notes on genealogy. I have one for the Thomas family, my mother's maiden name, when I'm taking notes on genealogy. I have this one, the red one, so I can find it. This is for my computer notes, graphic arts, things like that, my domain names, all that kind of stuff. SEO, search engine optimization, how to maximize it. I'm not trying to maximize my channel. I'm not trying to get monetized. I'm retired. I don't want to work. I want to enjoy my time with you guys. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to have to be driven that I have to do this, I have to do that. Click this button, click that button. I don't trust y'all anyway. I posted a couple of videos back some time ago, when I was doing my money dance, when I was doing all this stuff was free. All this stuff was free. And now I'm getting all these notes from YouTube that, I'm being flagged because for revenue sharing because oh, you're gonna make one with your lineage in it as well. They that's a really good idea. I'll show you a quickie thing, Campbell, in a minute if I could reach it. I keep a box of books under here for Rylan. I should have brought an extra one yesterday, but I didn't think he would have time for that. So these are a couple of books that you can get at the Dollar Tree if they have any more. And these are books. You can say "Mom," but you can customize these. You can put a label over there and say "Dad." Okay, so we'll use this one for those who are averse to pink. It says "Memories of Mom," made by Mom and me. It could say "Dad and me." And I do this with cards. I'll cross out whatever it says and put Nana. And like this page says, Campbell, it says this book belongs to, and you put your name in it. I know you have a daughter. I know you have a granddaughter. And you can customize it. You can put pictures in of you and whichever one of your children it's going to. I thought it was really cute. Or you can go on Cricut, you can go on your computer and design your own pages. It has what write 5 things you like best about each other. It's really, really cute. Another page it says, what is your favorite thing to do on a rainy day? And you put that in here. Sissy, I was being flagged by YouTube because I used somebody's music that it said was free. It was free until they found out I was getting paid. So it said, do you want to take the video down or do you want to do something else or whatever it was? You can share that little 1 cent, whatever little penny I got off that. So I was flagged by that, but that when you're using those things, it said that it's free. But I kind of thought that when I first came on here, I didn't trust it. But then I had an opportunity to. I thought I was modernizing, but no, they come back 6 months later. I didn't start using any of this canned stuff. I'll call it canned until like August. So here it is, December. If they told me right away, I wouldn't have been using it. So now they come back and they've flagged about 5 videos. Oh, take that little funky money. You don't pay anybody until you get $100. Takes me 3 months to get one little check. So y'all do the math. I'm retired. Do I look like I'm hungry? Do I look like I'm starving? That ain't gonna happen. And they know what they can do with that little revenue sharing. Mother, I'm not being fresh. James said his favorite thing to do on rainy days is to sleep. You know what's really good? I know that you're moving out to your new place. I will let them come to your channel. Drop your link, you guys. Exclamation mark GQUAT, and you use music only for the shorts. I don't think it's even long enough. Yeah, well, these were just little things like a birthday song. You do the money and do the video. So you're welcome. It comes on Auntie Ellen's live every time. Oh, yes, I appreciate you. So it says, design the ultimate treehouse and write the 3 things that you would put in it. I wouldn't have a treehouse. You know what I would have? I would have a tiny bus or one of those small buses, like the handicap bus that you turn into a full home, and they customize it and they put a bed in it and a stove you can cook in it. You can drive to the next place. You're welcome. You're welcome, Campbell's. And okay, list 5 positive things that you like most about your family. What I love most about my family is that they love each other. That every holiday we do what we can do to be there physically for each other or for big events. Like in May, I'm going to Arizona, excuse me, for a month. You be worried? Well, don't worry about it. Just share the little stupid revenue. Just share it, and that's the end of it for everybody. And you learned a lesson. You go to college, you pay for classes, right? Everything you do, you pay for. So, guess what? It is what it is. What I like, the five positive things I like about my family, we cook. Everybody cooks. Yesterday, the mac and cheese, the 16-year-old made the roux for it. And he knows the correct way to spell roux. And he knows how to put the butter in an equal amount of flour to let it set. Don't let that one get brown unless you're making gumbo or something like that. And his grandmother made the mac and cheese yesterday, and she left extra cheese. I think she uses different blends of cheeses, and you guys use whatever blends of cheeses. Janet, just subscribe to your channel. Giovanna is over where there's a lot of flooding, and she's gotten some mudslides and everything, lost all her jeans that she was saving. Oh, you guys, the gentleman that used to give me the jeans, a lot of the jeans, excuse me, that I'm collecting, he had some heart issues, so he's not at work. So please pray for him. I'm going to make a jean topper for that table over there, about the same size that I made the gold one. You'll be flat for the music. You did a 2 hour video, not sped up. That's cool. What else do I like about my family? Oh, even the 22-year-old has her own baking business. She caters special events. She does gender reveals. She does all types of stuff. The 19-year-old, everybody cooks. I don't cook. My mother doesn't cook. Of the six generations, the sixth one is sitting in her chair where you saw her just now. The fifth generation is sitting next to her. They cook and bring the different servings in. You made lasagna for lunch today? Oh, yum. I did you make the pasta yourself, or did you do it? I do remember the jeans you lost because that it's so hard to find them, except for Unbiased. She can find them at $2, and my Renaissance grandma can find them. I can't. You can't watch the flood videos. When I lived in my house in Maryland, I didn't have floods, but what I had is the water backed up like outside the basement. When the ground got saturated, there was like a dry drain thing, and the water backed up and came in, and I had turned the basement into like a master suite. We dug it out. We put a whole new bathroom. We jackhammered the floor, had walk-in closets, a laundry room, everything down there. Campbell said she had Caribbean food for Christmas. You love the stuff. Remember, it's so thumbs up. We have all nationalities of food. Actually, oh, we had Jamaican sorrel um, punch yesterday. Oh, I'm not going to open this. You can take my word for it. My daughter makes it with, yes, T Hop, it was a high water table. Then they said you couldn't drain the water out to the street. Oh, guess what? We jackhammered that thing up and dug a hole and put a sump pump in it so that that water would not come in. And I had the thickest carpet down there, and it was double padded. It was so soft. And then when people would come down like the basement steps or the steps to the between the first floor and the second floor, they said this was so thick. The carpet was so thick, and it was a very plush carpet. I had hardwood floors, but on the steps I had carpet. And I had carpet, and I said, well, if anybody falls, they just bounce their butt to the bottom and stand up, because all that padding, they did not get hurt. Oh my God, your cars goes in. You have this nightmare of a flood. Your car goes into the water, and the water is dark and cold. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Mrs. D's garden, thank you for coming. and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just visiting with you guys, friends and family. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. So, what other five things do I like about my family? Is that they check on one another. You don't have to ask for help. They ask you if you're okay. Mom, you forgot to call us when you got home. Yesterday, I didn't feel well when I got home. I don't know whether I was tired or what. I left everything outside. I had to go back out there later on and get it. So I had to use my iPad to check in and let them know that I got home safely. So what else do I like about my family? Is that there are six living generations. Mommy's the queen mom. So these are questions you might ask your family, and they're kind of funny. Of those of you who have a notebook, write the questions down. So James, Janet's 7 foot tall husband likes to sleep on a rainy day. There's nothing better than sleeping in a house with those tin roofs. Oh my goodness. That's a pure generation demonstration of love. And everybody likes to cook for each other, right? And when I'm at Auntie Joanne's house, she doesn't have to go in the kitchen if she doesn't want to. I take over the kitchen. Of course, I make a little mess around there. Yes, there are six living generations, Giovanna, and I have been alive for 8 generations. So I remember stuff that my grandmothers used to do. I replayed the live for Wind Down Wednesday. Sissy, I saw you in the chat last night over there. That was nice. I was only on the replay, and he was talking about grandmothers and traditions. And he was talking about his grandma spoiling him, and they would pick blackberries, and she would make blackberry cobbler, and he could smell it before he got to the house and knew she was baking it especially for him. I remember that. My grandmother used to, my paternal grandmother, North Carolina, used to make blackberry cobbler, and my aunts, and they would have the dumplings in it, those chewy dumplings in that crispy crust, and they baked their cakes and their pies in a wood stove. I have two living aunts, and they're one is almost 90, one is in her 80s. And I say, well, how did you do that? And they tell me how they put the coals in and get them, on the cool side, the biscuits. Oh my goodness, with the molasses in it, and the sorghum. Sorghum. They say down south, the sorghum. Oh, oh, Auntie Joanne Stevens, we have videos of the kids. That's one thing I love. My mother has a very big house, and in the kitchen, uh, the house used to be a three-family house before my dad bought it, like 55 years ago, and he converted it to a one-family house. So there's a basement, first floor, second floor, and a third floor. So in the kitchen, there's a double oven. My son and my daughter used to go in there and dance, and my maternal grandmother would be fussing that they were going to make the cake fall, and they'd be dancing and cutting a fool. You're 64 and your daughter is 26 and without kids, so you'll never have a six-generation family. But that's okay. You can take in other kids. Love is love. I don't personally know Psalm 146, her son, but Bean Pie, he's my baby too. He's my family now. She always baked her cherry cheesecake every Christmas. Psalm, you're the only one that got the recipe. Good for us. Good for us. I wish you could send some cheesecake. I'm gonna have to get some cookies in the mail. Except that now it might spoil because I sent my sister, Auntie Joanne, a package last Tuesday, priority mail, and she still didn't get it yet. So see, I saw your message briefly just before I went live. My helper didn't leave until about 2:15. Then I had to hurry up and get ready for here because I go in the green room and turn on my computers and stuff at 3:30 so that I can make sure, excuse me you guys. T Hop says the Ford Blue Oval plant now runs in my grandparents' backyard. Oh, in Tennessee. Oh, you're from that area? Wow. You would love some cheesecake. Guess what I had today? I had a red velvet cheesecake. The same lady, my friend Miss Janet upstairs, she 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 celebrates both Hanukkah, which is her religion, and my religion. She gets stuff for her shimmy for Christmas, and she cooked. She knew I was going home to my family. We had sweet potato pie. I didn't bring any home because I knew that Janet was bringing food down here, and one can only eat so much. So Miss Joan brings enough food for two people. So I shared it with my helper. We had the red velvet cake cheesecake for breakfast with some good coffee. And since I'm not putting any dairy in my coffee right now because of my bronchitis, but it's clearing up. I think I have one more day of antibiotics of 10. And Campbell saying, thank you, Giovanna, for subscribing. Thank you guys. I like you guys making friends with each other and sharing love. And, family is family. They don't have to be your biological family. Auntie Joanne can tell you, I have children, people that I call them children. They're my children. I have adopted nieces and nephews. I've been married 3 times. So, and none of my husband's is alive now, but the family is still my family. So I've got nieces and nephews from three different families. Hands in the dirt, everyone in the chat. Hello, nephew. I watched all 3 hours of you and Bouger Prepper last night. You and you and Snoop. He said that him and Boucher in Alive are like Snoop Dogg and Martha in Alive, as opposed to when Nikki's there, and it's more like Julia Childs, you know. But they are so funny. I love you guys. I love you guys. So, and this one is really interesting. This little book from the Dollar Tree. Hope they get some more. I didn't see any more. I went back, and it says design your own T-shirts. You can do that for your channel, and do it right here. Do it in pencil if you're scared to do it in ink. But there's a channel on TV that talks about, on YouTube, I mean, that talks about sketching and getting in the habit of sketching every day. Then it says here, draw your favorite candy bar. For me, that would be Snickers. Snickers put me in the ER once. I had major surgery when I lived in California, and I was at Loma Linda University Hospital, and I was there for like 30 days. 30 days. I had major surgery, and then, excuse me, abdominal surgery. Then I went home. My parents flew to California and stayed there for a month. And Daddy asked me, and what is that? There's some type of drug supposed to be for pain. Is it Fiorinol? Something. I don't know, something. And I know that they say that it could be addictive, but it didn't help. At that point, I knew that I had to go to the emergency room. I wanted a Snicker bar. Daddy went and got me a Snicker bar. I ate that thing. It got caught in my new surgery. And baby, when they called the paramedics to come take me to the hospital, Mommy was following the ambulance. My mother drives, boy. My mother, my mother hot foots it, and they like muscle cars. Well, not, I guess you couldn't call it a muscle car, but they like V12 engine cars, V8 engines, those heavy breathing cars. And mommy was so close on the back door of the ambulance that the ambulance stopped and asked her not to not to tailgate. Psalm 146 said Mountain Dew put her in the ER once with tachycardia. Wow, that sounds like some type of a heart thing. Some type of a heart thing. Oh, I said about draw the ultimate tree house, and what you would put in it. The 5 things about your family. Lost my page. If you could take a hot air balloon ride anywhere in the world, where would you go? I would go. First of all, I would take one in Arizona where it had plenty of room for that puppy to come down. I live in Connecticut now, and everything is overcrowded. Ain't room for nothing except for drones all over the place. We had a drone lollapalooza last week. Drones everywhere, everywhere. They had to close down the airport in New Jersey and one of the ones in New York, the big ones. Write 3 fortunes you would wish for each other. You know what I would wish for y'all? Number one, Powerball winning tickets. Number two, T Hop says Morocco. Number two would be Mega Ball $1 billion tickets. And the third fortune I would wish for you would be good health. Good health. No, maybe not in that order. Good health first, because the other ones aren't going to do you any good. NT good. You know, those of you who have children or grandchildren, you might just want to write these questions down and ask them and do your own little ask and tell. Okay. Name someone outside of your family whom you respect. What do you admire about that person? So let's turn that one around and let's put it in the chat, because I know that each of you respect me. But what do you like most about me? What do you think is good about me? Or what do you think that I should change to make myself better? I would like to know that. Yorba Linda? Is that Yorba Linda Campbell's creation? I know there's a Yorba Linda in Harbor Linda. I think she's trying to put Yorba Linda. I don't know where Harbor Linda is, what state, but I know there's a Yorba Linda in California because I used to live near there. Oh, T Hop says he respects Mike. Mike's chaotic gardening. Mike is good to so many people, so kind, and so good to the squirrels. The squirrels in his garden. In his garden. So, those of you in the chat, why do you come here? You love how I love people fiercely. I do. I'm your best friend or your worst enemy. Don't ever do something to somebody I care about or love. You know, folks in the military ain't the only ones trained to do certain things. Auntie Ellen still has some skills. Hands in the Dirt says he likes my wealth of knowledge and my willingness to share. Each one teach one. I've always said that for years and years and years. Maria Graham says, I'm kind and loving. Thank you, Maria. Until I'm not. Until I'm not. But I go to PTSD counseling every Tuesday. For the times that I'm not, will be less. Mike said he fed a few squirrels today. You miss them? Well, Mike, if you send me a cage, I got some squirrels. Excuse me. some groundhogs, and some chipmunks. I will be happy to send to you, or I can send uh, Jay's. I forgot their channel. Dreaming Texas Dreaming. Oh, T Hop says he loves that word lovability. Your wife fed them. I'm very lovable until I'm not. Until I'm not. One time I made my dad mad. He told me, he said, Pen Pen, you are so exasperating. I never heard what exasperating. 5 syllables. Dad was a man of few words, simple words, but he meant what he said. And you knew he meant it. And he said, you are so exasperating. When you can't have your way, you won't do no way at all. Country dreaming. Yeah, send Jay here. But I saw you last night, Stacy, hands in the dirt with your matches. That was my dad. Auntie Joanne Stevens had, what is it? Not groundhogs, voles. My dad took care of that problem for him, didn't he, Sissy? Daddy knew how to keep things from destroying your livelihood. His parents were farmers in North Carolina. He grew up farming. He had to leave school at the 8th grade because down there you didn't go to school after the 8th grade, because if you were farming, you had to help support the farm. You love all animals, especially elephants. I love elephants too. I'm going to finish him in the next month and submit him to this modern quilting challenge. Whoops. James said he's lovable because he's lovable until he isn't. I saw you guys at that ice cream place. You were so funny. You guys have to go to Almost Homesteading with Janet. They they went to this ice cream place that was out of this world, and the name of the store was called Uranus, the planet Uranus, but there was all kind of jokes and play on the words, puns galore. It was hysterical. But if you're sensitive, you have to you have to just don't overlook the bad words. You love everyone till they show you the need to do it from a distance. Exactly, Campbell's example. I My sister Joanne has a saying, and Joanne Stevens, and she says, "You teach people how to teach you poorly." Your daughter wants you to move to North Carolina from Illinois. North Carolina is a very big state. My dad's family, excuse me, is originally from North Carolina. The eighth generation and seventh generation were there. You were born in Kenya with elephants. They are so intelligent. One second. Hands in the Dirt was talking about, I think it was this morning when I was watching, about an elephant who unalived someone because they were in one of the countries that has elephants, and this woman was part of gamekeeper or something that took this elephant's baby away from the mother. Well, this elephant charged and unalived this woman. And then when they were trying to have her funeral, she chaosed the funeral. James has family in North Carolina. I loved North Carolina. I used to go through the backwoods. My place was 12 miles from the nearest town. For those of you who are new, I used to have horses. I had big dogs. At that time, I had Great Danes, Rottweilers. I had Doberman Pinschers. And then more recently, starting about maybe the year 2000, I started breeding and showing Cane Corso Italian Mastiffs. The poachers, yes, Mike, the poachers. And there are poachers in North Carolina that take game off of private property. I had property that people used to hunt on, but it was adjacent to woods that nobody lived on. It was Heir property, and I leased 20. I owned we owned 4 acres. Excuse me, but we leased 21 acres for a total of 25 acres. That elephant was about her business. That's what mama bears do too. I'm a mama bear. Now, you want to see Auntie Ellen act a fool? Yes, deal with my family. Do say, look at them funny. Even like you see me, some of my videos, I still wear a mask. I wear a mask for the reason I just had this bronchitis that was so awful. Even with the mask on, I got some bug. But anyway, Mrs. D's garden saying, hey, unbiased, I will let you know. I had just awakened from a coma, and as I was at my mom's house, and something happened with the property in back of my mother's property. And I was out there, and there was some gardeners dealing with commercial property next door. And I had all these Uggs. You're not supposed to get in the snow. I went through the snow, the top of the boots, and I went back there, hablando con ellos en español, my great grandkids said, Nana, I know you spoke Spanish, but I didn't know you spoke Spanish like that. Oh, yes, we were conversating in Spanish. And my helper is Spanish. Sometimes she will be doing something or play part of the live when I'm talking in Spanish. You said, remember, they are a matriarch community. She's talking about elephants. Yes, they take care of business. In fact, the males are ostracized from the herd, and they go off, and a lot of the male elephants will have their own little, I forget what they call them, their little enclaves where they go around. Yeah, lions are like that too. The female lions do all the hunting. Then when they bring down the prey, here come the big bad males, 2 times their size, and they take the best of the food in the pride. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, and by the way, we were talking about the punch. I have family. My kids have blood family in Jamaica, in Tanzania, in Thailand, and who knows what other places. So we're talking about some things that you can talk about in your family meetings. Uh, Design your own pair of super groovy roller skates. Giovanna says the bull elephant. T Hop's talking about the lion chair. So let me tell you about, excuse me, this is really funny. The last time I went roller skating. Oh, Janet is saying lions. She loves the kitties, big and small. Auntie Joanne, I have pictures of her on safari in Africa, standing, touching next to an elephant's trunk. And the elephant, she wasn't as big as the elephant's trunk. You want the best cut too, Mike? Me too. I see your tomahawk steaks here and there on the grill. I see you. I see you. I used to have a sign that says, I have the simplest of tastes. I am always satisfied by the best. You've been to Tanzania, and Kenya is above it. Yes, I have to show you. I have a map that I did, a current map of Africa with all 50 of the current countries there, and it's an art quilt. Each, oh, it would take me too long to find it on my iPad. Each country is in a different African fabric. It is absolutely beautiful. But there's a channel, Quilt Africa Fabrics. I'll put it in the chat. If you go to her channel, I am a tribe member there, and a lot of my quilts are shown there because I make a lot of my quilts with African fabric and with batiks. Those are my two favorite fabrics. So going back to the last time I went roller skating, I was 55 years old, and I was teaching an after school program called Diplomas Before Diapers. And it was teaching young people coping skills, ways to cope without having children if you don't want to until you get out of high school. So, one of the field trips, I took them to a me being their instructor, took them to a forestry class where you had to learn certain skills like walking across the ropes and passing each other. You had to go through all four lanes without touching the ground, which meant you had to hold on to each other, touch each other, go by. That must have been an orphan elephant. The wild ones will not come near you. It was an orphan elephant that grew up tame, and the handlers the handlers were there. You haven't traveled to Africa yet? I have not been either, except on family chats, or the family has has posted them. I actually have a brother-in-law who's been in Africa, Tanzania, has a coffee plantation there. Some of the best coffee in the world comes from Tanzania. And the people in the coffee co-op are not victimized by middlemen who are taking all of the proceeds. They help dig wells for the people there and do other things, so they give back to the community. My nieces tell me about when they lived off grid there. Diplomas before diapers. I will have to take a quilt out for you that we made. I donated all the fabric. I think I had like 11 to 15 students in my group one year. I donated all the fabric. I taught them how to hand sew, like I told my was teaching my helper today, and I finished the quilts for them. I donated all the fabric, the batting, the backing, and we made like cartoons on it. We took unbleached muslin, Maria, how I was saying, and put the freezer paper on the back. And then I went to Dollar Tree back then and I got comic books for them to trace different things. And if they made the blocks and sewed the blocks together, I would finish their quilt. And I finished all of their quilts. And one of the most touching things is, since I moved back to New Haven, I went to visit a nursing home with one of my friends who now lives on the third floor here. She's a published writer. And when we went in the nursing home to visit her mom, there was a nurse, a nurse sitting at the desk. And I said, "Hello, can you tell me where such and such a room is?" She looked up, she heard my voice. She ran around the corner. She grabbed me, started crying hysterically. It was one of the students that had been in that class. And this gives me goosebumps. I'm sorry. This gives me goosebumps. And you know what she said? She said, "Miss Panky," she said, "I missed you. I learned so much from you." She said, "Guess what? I have a daughter now. She's 6 years old. And I waited until after I got out of school to have her. And I'm a nurse here now. And I think about the things that you used to teach us, the things that you used to tell us. And I used to keep it real with them, you know. You guys. You might be fooling your parents, but here we tell the truth. You tell the truth." And they were honest with me. We used to do arts and crafts one day a week because that's when you get to talk to them. They let down their guard and they tell you, "Well, has anybody done anything to you that made you uncomfortable? Has anybody touched you in a way that you didn't feel comfortable?" and we had some real talks, and she said, and you know what she said? She said, Miss Panky, I still have the quilt you made me, and when my daughter gets old enough, I'm going to give it to her. Oh, I was so touched. I was crying too. I was crying too. Another one of those students in the same program, she happened to be Native American, and it was here in Connecticut, and the what do you call it? Uh, the special schools, not a Montessori school, but it was a special school, and it was almost across from my house that I have, that's like up the street from here, and it was a school for gifted kids, but in the summer everybody could go there, and I would teach summer camp in addition to the after school program. And I had a fancy car back then, and they saw my car like in my driveway, and this is a neighborhood that didn't have cars like this particular car. And I happen to live in a Jewish neighborhood and around here, which is why we still do all the different celebrations. So they were like, Miss Panky, I know where you live. I said, you do you? Said, we gonna come over your house. I said, I'll tell you what, if you come to my house, Hannibal is going to eat you. And not Hannibal Ecter. My dog, I had a German Rottweiler who could almost levitate. Hey, Darth X. We just talking over here. My dog could levitate from the sidewalk up to, I had a brownstone wall. And it was like the brownstones in New York, and it had flagstone on the top. And I used to train Hannibal to just jump up there. And when I would go out at night to the clubs, to the hangouts with my friends, I had an alarm system, with a panic button. But when I got out of my garage, it wasn't attached, and you walked around. My mother would say, "Well, did you let Hannibal in the house first?" Yep, I let Hannibal in the house first. And Hannibal was not named after the guy who ate people. He was named after the African general that crossed the Alps with elephants. Yeah, so and I have photos when I get to them one day, you guys, and I'll show you where one day when I took the kids to the forestry class, and we were doing all of the different things. I'll tell you one more quick story about that, and I'll put this book away. And so we were at the ropes course, and we were we were in this, and two of the girls I told you were Native American, so we took them to a powwow in Connecticut. And when we got to the powwow, I was paying for them to get in, and the chief of this tribe, it's the Mashantucket Pequot Indians here in Connecticut, and the Mashantucket Pequots are the richest tribe of Indians anywhere in the world. Why? Because they put the casinos there, and they get the revenue from there. And it's not governed; they have their own government, and they have the two of the biggest casinos in the world here. But we're not talking about the casinos, except that two of the girls work there. So my mother and I took a bus trip there with our church that had a chartered bus, and we went there. We went to the casino, and the lady that was the maitre d was standing there, telling the waitresses what to do. And I walked up to her, and I said, Miss, are you from New Haven? She said, yes. And I said, did you ever have a teacher named Miss Panky? She looked up, she came over, she hugged me. She said, Miss Panky, it is so nice to see you. And she said, and guess what? My sister works here too. So going back to the powwow 20 years ago, like in the year 2000, we went to the powwow, and the chief came over to them and said hello. And I said, wait, you guys are members of this tribe? They said yes. Hey, Deirdre, the analytic gardener. Thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So he came over. I said, "What? You guys, I paid for you to get in here. You get your tribal ID on and you put it on. You be proud of who you are wherever you are." So they put their tribal ID on. They came over and met my mom, and it's so nice to see people that you have influenced in your life and remembered you. Excuse me, swallowing the air. I get so excited. Just 1 minute, you guys. But, you know, that's why we're going back to family. We're good friends, become family, and family is everything. I remember these kids and the stories about them. So I'm going to tell you one more last story because my bronchitis is acting up. I guess I've been swallowing too much air, but I'm having fun. If you're having fun in the chat, put a one in the chat. But I guess if you're still here, you or wave your hand, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. So we went to the ropes course, and there was this high wire. There was a wire strung between two telephone phone poles, like you see the telephone poles, and the linemen go up there, and you go up these like little steps to go up there, up the telephone pole, and then there's a wire that you walk across. I want to say about 25 yards, and then there's another pole. But this pole doesn't have the things that you walk up. Oh, you are enjoying yourself. This thing doesn't this didn't have a pole that you walk up. How you go up there, and then there's two wires. It's like you go to other countries and they have those bridges you walk across, and you walk across, and you go to the other side, and then but there's no way to get down. You know how you go down? You turn your back to the wire, and but you have this harness on, and you have ropes. You're attached to the ropes, and say 4 or 5 of your classmates and your teachers are holding it, and you fall backwards on pure faith and trust, and you let them lower you to the ground. Oy vey! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So each of the students in my group, they went up there. I said, "You can do it. You can do it." Then there was one little Spanish guy, Elliot, and he's an adult. I can talk about it now. So he said, Miss Panky, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I said, "You can do it, Elliot. You can do this. You can do anything you set your mind to. You can do this. You can do this. You got this. You got this, Elliot." So he said, "Miss Panky, you going up?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to strap up." So I put this harness on. It goes all across your crotch. Your crotch. I guess if it was a guy and it was too tight, it could keep me from having children. But I was already a grandmother, because I used to take my great granddaughter to some of the events we have. So Elliot goes up there. He's he's walking, he's shaking. I said, "Come on, Elliot. Come on, Elliot. You can do this. You got this. You got this." So he goes over, he goes shaking over. He comes down, they lower him. He said, "Okay, Miss Panky, your turn." What? I ain't going up there. Are you crazy? I am 55 years old. I ain't going up there. I've already done all the things I wanted to do in life. I just wanted you all to know that you can do it. La la la. I did not go up there. But going back to the last time I ice skated, I know roller skated, and Auntie Joanne can skate her butt off, you guys. She can skate backwards. She can do all those things on rollerblades. Her and her girls, they used to tear that skating rink up. So I went to the skating rink. I hadn't been on skates, I want to say, in at least 40 years. I got married when I was 19. I left home. No skates. I hadn't been on skates before that. You said make ginger tea, it will help you. I have ginger. I have ginger that I grew in my garden. Thank you. I have lots of herbs that I grew in my garden. Oregano, thyme, you name it. I have dehydrated oranges. So we go roller skating, and I was just getting a rock skate. Oh, I was just loosening up, instead of being all tight. I was just rolling around. Just when I was showing off, they took a picture. I went down like the Titanic. I took about I took about 10 of them little kids out. Boy, I did the ugly fall. I was just sprawled and rolling. Nobody, they couldn't get me up. You keep falling. Oh, mess. Barbarelli's. I am hilarious. Thank you. This is the real life. This is my real life. You have no idea about my adventures. Mother, it's like going on a bike. You never lose it. I I haven't been on a bike lately. I had a bad accident on my bike in the same neighborhood 20 years ago. I had I had a French motor pecan bike. It was a French racing bike, and it didn't even have a kickstand on it because you don't put a kickstand on that kind of a bike. And I was going down this hill, and what did I have on my left hand? I had Hannibal, my Rottweiler. So we're going down this hill, steep hill by the library, and a pickup truck comes down the hill. There's a stoplight there, and somebody has a dog on the. Auntie Joanne says she still has her skates in the closet. We're going skating when I come back, not with two replaced knees and this hip. Oh, no, baby. I got too much titanium. I got too much titanium in me PIA, passionately intrigued arcs. Did you ever get your package yet? It should be there. Oh, I was hoping you would get it for Christmas. Oh, this stupid post office. Oh, so I'm going down the hill on this bike, and I wasn't going too fast. The guy with the pickup truck, he has a dog, and the dog lunges at Hannibal. Hannibal, it was not the dog to do that to. Hannibal, if he saw another dog, he was going to put the other dog on his back. He was an alpha dog. He was an alpha dog. This dog lunged at me, and the next thing I know, I fly through the air with the greatest of ease. The daring young woman on the flying trapeze. I was up in the air doing a somersault with my bike. I flipped so hard over the handlebars that I hit the ground. But I used to be on the gymnastics team in high school. Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner, thanks for coming, sis. And we'll be over to see you. Drop your channel link, exclamation mark, GQUAT. I knew I was going to hit the ground. I didn't want to mess my face up. I've always been terrible of being in a crash and messing my face up. My nightmare actually did come true at one point, but I tucked my head under, so I flipped. But I flipped so hard, my shoulder blades, like came almost dislocated. I hit the ground so hard that I didn't know who I was or where I was. I've had concussions before. One time I fell off a horse and got another one of my horses. And I hit the ground so hard. And then all these cars stopped. They pulled over to see if I was okay. You know, Mike saying, drop exclamation mark GQuat to drop your links and connect with each other. And the Hannibal wouldn't let anybody touch me. Nobody could touch me. Nobody could touch me. So when the paramedics came, I did a standing 8 count. For those of you in the boxing world like Dolores, a standing 8 count is when you're basically like knocked out on your feet, and they count to 8. They count to 8 to give you a standing 8 count. So the paramedics, I couldn't go to the hospital. What was I going to do with Hannibal? Let them take him to the pound? They would have to dart him first of all to get him out of there. So I walked my bicycle back to my house up around the corner street. And that's the last time I've been on a bicycle. I've been through some things, y'all. Been through some things. And who was it? Janet said she has the nightmare, the floods. My sister Joanne was in a hurricane and she fell in the water. And my parents were upstairs and we lived in a house like where there were people next door. And I went next door and got Miss Melissa, who was taller than the water. We lived in the south end of Stamford, Connecticut then, for those of you from New Jersey. And there were beaches everywhere you could walk to. You can walk to a beach from my mother's house. I used to walk down to the beach every day for exercise. So, you guys, I think I will stop telling funny stories and let you guys get a break. Miss Shirley OG Gardner is coming on tonight, 7 o'clock. She knows I'll be needing my nap, especially running around my helper all day from 8 to 2 and then getting. Oh, wait. I have to show you guys something. The last challenge, let me show you. I finished it. I was sewing all those scraps together. I have my own jelly rolls cut out. I'll show you this half because this quilt's only going to be like about 43 inches wide and 60 inches long. It's not tall enough. I'm 63 and a half inches. It's on the thumbnail, you guys. And I want you to see like all the different colors of off-white. I made it off-white because I'm going to I'm going to use this for a travel quilt and I'll be bringing it to Arizona when I go for my sister's birth anniversary. I showed how I sew those scraps together and I was going to sew tonight, but I'm getting so that I'm getting raspy. What did you write with the Morse code? I didn't write a Morse code. Oh, the dots and the dashes? That's funny. That's funny. It just took me a minute, Giovanna. You know, they test old people. I'm 76 years old, for those who don't know. And they give you 3 words to remember. And then you love that quilt, light and colorful. Sissy, I modeled this quilt. Remember the very first one I made you? And I hand quilted it? And it was lightweight and you used it for travel. Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick, Auntie Ellen listening in the background, getting stuff done. And you moderators, you will be getting your mail from me. The friends and family chat member, you will be getting your mail from me. I didn't, I did. It said it looks very posh. This thing, this is unbiased. And those of you who buy jelly rolls, who find jelly rolls at secondhand stores, who cut your own jelly rolls, these are pieces of fabric that I cut. These were left over from my tiny blocks that I'm making in my legacy quilt, the ones that were 2.5 inches. PIA, I challenge you to make one of these. And I made it, it's called Dots and Dashes. But what I did, I used, yes, I'm 76. Thank you. I'm 76. Yep. And this is my hair. This is my hair. The salt is in with the pepper, but it's just that the curls you can't see it. That's right. But like that little piece I just saw, or over here, sometimes Auntie Joanne says keep my hand out of it. I pull it. I think I have some of my quilting string in it, but it's not. It's my gray wrapped around it. So I'm going to finish sewing the rest of the scraps into a snake. But what I decided is every other row to make like a really light one and then make one row with colored fabrics. But when I look in here, I can remember, and these ugly fabrics, unbiased, when you buy those jelly rolls at the secondhand store, Maria, this is what to make out of it. I always tell you guys to get like 5 yards of unbleached muslin. This one, Giovanna said she's fully gray. Some of my friends upstairs, you have to be 62 to get to live in this building. I just happen to have a handicapped apartment. And yeah, her hair is all silver. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, going back to this is what you do with all those ugly fabrics. Look, Mike, there's some more of those peppers. There's one really cute little piece in here. I meant to put the little boy's face in there. This was some fabric. You see the little boy's face and hands. I remember that was a donation quilt for to a children's charity in North Carolina. A lot of these were donation quilts. 1 year in North Carolina when I had my long arm studio, 1 year alone, I personally donated over 120 quilts. I could afford it then, even though I was retired. I had some passive income coming in, and I don't have it anymore. I just lived on my little fixed income. Why? Because I took my passive income, invested it in some property, and I had to get rid of the property to take care of some health situations. Sifting some soil, Mona. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Mona and I became family during a challenge, I want to say 3 years ago, way before I started a channel, before she started a channel. We were just gardening and we were in this channel. Our team lost. It was, what it was, a universe soil gardeners, and our team lost. But look what we gained. We gained a lifetime membership. Oh, Mona, I don't know if you were here when you heard me say my baby brother moved to Houston. He got married and moved to Houston. So I will be coming to Houston. I'm already trying to find that David Corey and find out where he's getting his oxtail so that I can get some for my brother. So, you guys, Miss Shirley OG is going live at 7. She dropped her link. You guys can drop it again. Odom goes on, I think, about 8 or 9. Vision preparedness goes on later on. And I will be, Psalm 146 was on that sauce. Y'all were mixing up some concoctions back then. So I will be live on Saturday at 6 p.m. And Nikki, the Everyday Life of an OCD chick, is an adjert, will be going back to their 7 o'clock time on Saturday. They are the ones who suggested that I go live on Saturday and an hour before they go live. So that's when I started doing the extra hour. This one, although I start 4 o'clock and a lot of you are at work and have to stay in the bushes, I get that. Bayou Sugar. I'm coming to Arizona for a month over in the West Valley, girlfriend. Girlfriend, the only decision we'll have to make is your pool. Oh, Vision Preparedness said he's taking the rest of the year off. Good for him. Good for him. Well, I will be live. I will be live. So, Giovanna, I'm in Connecticut. It's Eastern Daylight Time. So now it is, I got on Daddy's watch again. I miss my watch when I don't have it on. It is, I forgot to plug it in. Oh no, it is 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock because, or almost 6 o'clock. I put mine up a little hour. Auntie Joanne is Mountain Time, so she's 2 hours behind me, and my son is in Arizona. He's 3 hours behind me. So when we do the family chat, so Miss Shirley will be live in an hour. She knows her girl will probably be out. So Bayou Sugar, get your maps out so we can find the West Valley, so I can find out where you are. The only decisions be what pool we gonna swim in 118-degree weather. Yeah, yeah. Oh, one last story. My brother cousin Kenny, went to Arizona. It was like the wintertime, like now. So, yes, alcohol was involved. He went and jumped in the pool in the winter times. He woke up. He said everything on him was shrunken and he's still cold. Almost homesteading with Janet said it's 6 there too. So now it's time to say goodbye to all our lovely friends. Ego amote, mother. Ego amote, you guys. That's Latin. It means I love you. That's what my mom used to say to us when we were kids, Auntie Joanne and me. And thank you all for coming. I appreciated this. So Saturday will be our last time live. See ya.